Hey everybody, welcome one and all. Please remember to like and subscribe as we get into this inspirational story about two brothers who left their day jobs as machinists to start Brisket and Rice. That's right, combining Texas barbecue with an oriental flair of fried rice. These guys are getting so popular they're having to move out of their old church's gas station restaurant and into a brand new one. But I managed to hit them and get a to-go order right before they headed out. Yep, offset cooking, married with delicious fried rice. I should have thought of that earlier. Anyhow, let's get into it. Now I start my briskets basically the day before. Now I picked up this 17.5-pound prime brisket from Randall's this time. You guys know I shop over there. And yeah, I began the day before basically patting it dry and trimming all the excess fat off of it. Now, I went a little bit more aggressive on this trim than I usually do because, quite frankly, I like the look of this brisket, and I'm still, jonesing for some sausage. I'm going to do some homemade sausage here pretty soon, and so I'm going to reuse a lot of this, for the sausage mix. And so, again, I went a little bit aggressive on this, and as you guys know, I'm not, known to be the most eloquent of trimmers, but I gotta say, I think I did okay on this one, not bad. But take a look at that marbling. This was better than prime. I'm telling you, this was some awesome marbling here. And it actually didn't require too much finesse in terms of the trim process itself. But again, that marbling was really good. And I gotta tell you, later on, it showed with the finished product. It was really tasty. So yeah, I got that trimmed up the way I liked it. Again, the marbling on the side, just phenomenal. I can't keep my eyes off of that actually. And went ahead and chose to do an injection on this as well. Followed it up with the Heath Riles, where basically you just stir that up really good, and then get your injector out. Now he tends to do a grid pattern across the top. Maybe I'm just a little bit lazy. But I decided to go through the side because this thing had like 3 outlets on it, and I just went ahead and shot it through the side in a number of different places and went all the way through in that manner. So I don't know that affects it that much, but that's the approach that I chose to use. Now I'm using blacks, and I gotta tell you, that black simple table salt and pepper with cayenne rub, I have been addicted to that, folks. I'm using that on my steaks now, a number of different things. It just works well. And of course, keeping with the black theme, the hardcore carnivore, black, it just does me good every time. And I think this is my go-to combination that I'm hitting, here on out. And you'll notice I have this sitting on an air rack because, this is going to effectively, stay in the refrigerator for 24 hours. And what I'm going to do is just let that thing, let all the, spices and everything just tenderize into that. And okay, I'm a clump duster. I admit it. That's just who I am. But there you go. Got it in the refrigerator with that bargain Shasta from Costco. Or it could have been Sam's. I'm not sure. Okay, snake time. We're going to add some extra smoke to this cook. And as y'all might have seen in that last video where I started experimenting a little bit, this time I'm putting some of that experimentation to the test, see how the flavor, comes out. So lined up the snake, got the Jealous Devil whiskey wood blocks on there, from the whiskey barrels, okay. Basically hit up some, lighter cubes and started the chain reaction going. Okay, now I set this up to where this could go, fairly long, right? Because I'm looking for a long cook, so I'm looking for that chain to last me maybe 12 hours. And yeah, that coal is burning. I mean, it's the chain progression is started, or chain reaction has started. So mounting it up on that upper rack, because that's where it gets the best smoke. Got my wireless probes in and my recteq probe in as a backup, and we're on for the long cook. That was it. Now the temperature has been holding pretty good on the app. Now I'm just wanting to see how it looks, and after 9 hours it's looking pretty good, folks. And it's hard to describe, but I can definitely smell that whiskey barrel out there, and it was good. So extra smoke was happening. Now after bumping up that heat, it was Houston, we've got a problem. Everything looked good, bark was intact, but definitely had a little bit of a grease fire going there. So what happened? Okay, so that was a fail. Threw it in the category of near miss. Now, what I did to just clean some things up there was I took the brisket out, put it in the, direct side while I, broke everything down, cleared the coals out, and, effectively, got everything back to, normal operating condition. It took really all about 5 minutes to, make that work. So everything's back up and I'm just finishing the cook, normal style. But I believe what happened was grease got down there and ignited. And when that ignited, it effectively caused, a skipping or the dominoes just all falling down, okay, in terms of the snake. And so everything just, fell all the way down and started heating up, on its own. And that caused more grease to come down. And then once more grease came down, it just exacerbated the situation. As you can see from the data, this all happened right after I raised the temp, okay? Shortly after that, I got the alert and the cascade happened. Once I corrected it, we were back to normal, so that was okay. So now I'm thinking all that rendered fat, basically hit that hot spot and flared up. So hey guys, I got a new resting pad in place, and yeah, the jiggle on this was awesome, okay? And you know me, I like having a little bit of butter in there, so I wrapped this up, saran wrapped it all up, and tossed it into my little catering pan there, and into my new recteq, insulated resting box, and set that thing up to go for 125 for a long, slow rest, and it was good. Okay, hibachi night comes back, and now we're on to fried rice. And I think you guys know the drill. If you saw that last one, we're heating this up to 425, spreading some oil down, and I've got everything set up to make this work. Yeah, prepping is everything, especially when you're cooking for 9 people. So we're going to spread those eggs out, get that going, basically get that first level cooking up. Then we're going to add a little bit more oil into place, and then we're going to throw some more rice down. Yep, again, 9 people tonight. Now I got wise here. I made a composite butter with that, chopped garlic just to ease things a little bit. And this time I'm mixing it up a little bit with some homemade sausage from what I did a little while back. Got that out of the freezer, got that into place. Doing that because I found out those, brothers end up doing Chinese sausage in there. And I thought, well, I don't have any Chinese sausage. I got mine, so I'm going to do that. Doing the usual green onion, and celery, mash up to mix into the rice, because no one likes carrots in the house, so there you go. And then, start folding that together. Now again, this whole combination is butter with garlic, the seasoning, and the soy. And that recteq Asian persuasion comes back, to make this one killer flavor. And again, soy that up as much as you want to add whatever color you want to it and flavor you want to it. It really works out pretty well. And I've even been using some teriyaki sauce in this from time to time. Yeah, we've been hitting hibachi night on a fairly regular basis lately. Comes out tasting really good. So just, again, blending all that in now that we have everything up to temperature and whatnot. We're going to package that up, tint that with foil, and get ready for veggies. And here, I got some long tongs. Yeah, I went ahead and got on the 20% off discount sale that was going on with recteq. I got their long tool package, and I gotta tell you, it works out okay. Just gives you a little bit more distance from the heat and whatnot. And veggies go on, and then from there, just cutting these things up just a little bit so they get a little bit better browning and so forth in terms of the cook going. But yeah, it's starting to look good, taking shape. And yes, I'm starting to get used to this because we've been doing hibachi night, several different nights. Now that said, usual practice is, becoming second nature for me in terms of seasoning and soy. And once these things are ready to go, well, off the griddle and into the bowl, and then tinting those with foil and letting them just rest until it's time to start merging them up with everything else. Did a quick steam clean here just to make sure I had everything ready for the next tranche. which in this case was chicken, because Lucy likes her chicken. That's right. Anyhow, got some more oil down in that, and then, effectively just, repeated the process. This time we're doing some chicken breasts. Got 3 of those lined up and butterflied. Worked great with chicken thighs as well, boneless chicken thighs. And yeah, Mom likes her stuffed mushrooms, so got a little bit of the stuffed mushroom action going. And I will admit, I got a little bit sloppy right here with one of the tongs, and bam, lost some of that cheese stuffing. But that's okay. I mean, who doesn't like grilled cheese? I know I do, So that crispy cheese came off, and oh yeah, she put in a request for some pulled pork too. So got some of that out, and I gotta tell you, that crisped up really nice, and actually had some of that again the next day. That was pretty tasty. So mixing everything together. Once it's done, we're putting that on the serving platter and coloring it up with a little bit more soy, seasoning it appropriately, and there you go. I mean, that is some nice chicken coming to town. And yes, I had a special helper that was, helping me on this cook. My father did the tinting. And now it's shrimp time, because Peyton likes shrimp. That is, tinting it with foil, that is. Anyhow, I thought this was my birthday. Why is everybody getting what they want? Anyhow, here we go. Colossal shrimp paired with colossal scallops. Yeah, got these on sale too. I'm just that way, guys. If I see a good sale, I can't pass it up, And in this case, this was a really good sale. Again, throwing down the composite butter, a little bit of seasoning, and just getting some color on those. And I gotta tell you, they were coming out nice. Just good and golden, got great sear on those. And again, that slicing knife just reaches in there and does it good. So can't go wrong with a little bit more butter. And flipping the scallops there, you can see the color on top of those. It was good. And these didn't take long to cook. I mean, they were ready in a flash. So, a little final shot of soy and seasoning, and we were done. Yep, looking marvelous, I must say. Next, lobster time. Why? Because Mom likes her lobster. Wait a second, she got mushrooms? She got pulled pork and lobster? Yep, lobster. It was on sale too. So again, everybody wins. Except Lucy, she doesn't care for lobster or shrimp, so that's okay. More for us. Steamed those up. That went fast. This time I got smart. Put some of that composite butter, on top of the lobster before I set them on the grill. Just made it a little bit easier. And, same thing. Soy and season. And there you go. Now for the grand finale, it's assembly time with Brisket and Rice, because it is so good. Now you hear a lot of people talk about the feel of the meat and feel of the brisket. I gotta tell you, this was feeling really good. The jiggle on this was perfect, and got in there, sliced into that, and I mean, it was just moist and just perfect. I gotta tell you, the cook on this, even though we had that flare up, that really didn't affect anything. I mean, this came out really good. I had my daughter, putting, the rice in a bowl and dumping that, on the plate so we could get a little presentation thing going there. And then it was assembly time, just back and forth, back and forth. Went pretty quick, actually. Chose to go with the flat, and I don't mean to sound mean, but the reason I chose the flat is because that moist side is my favorite side, and I was kind of saving that for sandwiches and other things the next day, But I will say this, that flat was actually really well marbled and had a lot of flavor tied into it as well. I mean, I got the chef's choice, the cutting board choice there with the scraps topped on mine. And look at that smoke ring. That smoke ring was awesome. Yeah, a little drizzle, in this case, Kinder's barbecue sauce, the Founder's, edition. And there's that, black cherry, Clafoutis, I can't remember, Chef John, I'll put a link in there. Oh, here we go again, it's ZEN Time. Not just like those two brothers moving out of their first restaurant into a new one, I got a daughter moving into her first new home. Wow. And another daughter getting her first car in her name. Wow. And another daughter getting her senior pictures, and that dog's smiling happy. And my dad being comfortable with a lap dog for the first time. Wow. And you know what? My wife spent her Kohl's cash to get me that new stainless steel cooking table. Wow. So thanks for spending time, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Y'all take care now.